I got sent home from camp for wanting a McFlurry at 2 a.m. So I've gone to this church youth summer camp every year since 5th grade. I know it's called camp, but it's far from that since you live in college dorms on a campus the whole time. I just got back from my last one, and it always reminds me of this one particular camp 2 years ago. So we've been having great small group conversations, we were all set for when we were going to leave, we were locked in. We were even going to get Buffalo Wild Wings on the last night as a reward for a camp where we were so locked in. Come the second to last night, we had an awesome small group. In fact, it was so good that even without the supervision of a small group leader, we went until 2 a.m. And by then, we were hyped but really hungry. Then we decided it was alright to go to the nearby McDonald's. Mind you, this McDonald's was close, but it was off the college campus we had our camp at. The main thing is, we weren't allowed to go off campus for any reason, nor was it even allowed to have your car keys from the second you go to orientation. So that year, our small group had 10 people. 6 of us decided we wanted to fit in a 5-person car at 2 a.m. for McDonald's. So we just leave because there's no one stopping us. And we get there and we go to order. Here's the series of unfortunate events leading to what happened. Stage 1. Simple inconveniences. So my friends and I thought the easiest way to get the food would be to go inside. And you thought that too, right? Wrong. It's a McDonald's at 2 a.m. What did you expect? They were short-staffed, so the inside was closed. Drive-thru only. This means we had to do the drive-thru, which would just be fine anyways, right? Wrong again. So the rule that I've never had a problem with until now is that each car is allowed 2 orders maximum. This means we could do one of 2 things. We could either Apple Pay or Cash App the driver, or we could give cash to order everything at once, or we could go around in circles until each order from the 6 of us is done. Which one did we do? Well, for some reason, some of us couldn't use Cash App and we didn't have any cash. I don't really know why, but don't ask. It was a while ago and it was really late. But yeah, we did the second option. Stage 2. The aggravation. First cycle, all good. We talked to the workers about whatever, everyone was chill. Second cycle, we decided it would be funny to have someone laying on the hood of the car with their feet up like in those videos. Silly, harmless, but not to the second worker. Nothing's happened yet. By this time, I had my McFlurry, and the 6th passenger left the car because it was hard sitting like that, and 2 random extra kids without a car walked up thinking they could go inside too, just to find out you couldn't go inside. So we decided we'd get their orders for them too. The 6th passenger decides to talk to the kids and walk with them around the McDonald's, which probably looks suspicious, but what were they gonna do? Pile inside the car? Go inside the store? The first worker was still alright, but the second one was probably getting annoyed on the inside by our stuff. Stage 3. The cherry on top. By our 3rd of 4 cycles, we'd almost gotten all of our stuff, ready to head out, when the driver decided they wanted to relax and try to make small talk with the second worker like he'd be doing with the first one. And not like small talk like flirting, just like a relevant question to get them talking and more comfortable so they didn't think we meant any harm. We were just hungry teenagers at a church camp. The thing about this choice is the specific question he asked the person. Now, you have to imagine, it's about 3 in the morning by this point, everyone's tired, they want to go back home, and we want to go back to camp, and we're just trying to finish up what we need to do. So what does this driver ask the employee? Hey, when do you get off of work? It's pretty late. You'd imagine that this question could come off as a concern for the other person's well-being, since no one should have to work when most people are asleep. But someone's got to do it, I guess, and with the proper sleep schedule, it's okay. And maybe this wasn't anyone's business to begin with, but it was just a question, or so we thought. Stage 4. The reckoning. By this point, most of us had our food. We were tired and ready to go. But as we were about to do our 4th and final cycle to get the rest of our stuff, red and blue lights were seen from around the corner of the McDonald's. Here come 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 7 police cars. From the time that question was asked to the cops coming was maybe 3 minutes. Perhaps the cops were called sooner, but we asked the first worker and they said they were chill. But the second one must have differed, because the cops looked at our IDs and told us the call had been for a bunch of teenagers harassing someone. I figured that the amount of cop cars would have been for if they needed to arrest 8 drunk teenagers on a college campus. But when the 2 oldest, the 6th passenger and the driver, explained to the cops what was happening, the accusation was dropped. However, the fact of the matter is, no one in this car was even 18. The oldest turns 18 in 2 weeks from this point. So, as kids with no adult guidance, the cops don't know for sure what we'll do if they let us go. I don't even know if that would be legal. So, they detained us, which requires an adult to escort us from their custody. Like I said at the beginning, we didn't have a present small group leader. That means we needed to get one of them to come get us at 3 a.m. or else we'd have to go back with the cops. We hadn't been more lucky that night to know one of the small group leaders had just finished their flag football game, which is why they left in the first place, and he could come get us. Here's the kicker though. Our other small group leader was also the lead pastor for all of the students at our church. But either way, there was no way we could get away with this unspoken. So we were brought back and told by the leader who escorted us back that he would have to tell our lead student pastor. Oh, also, about the 6th passenger and the 2 random kids, they all had to walk back. Anyways, we were all waiting together in one of our rooms when we found out the lead pastor was halfway to a city a couple hours away for his job, and he was turning around just for us. At this point, we knew it was over. Fast forward, he's here, and he's usually a jolly guy. I hadn't seen him more mad in my entire life. The first thing he says is he's telling all of our parents in the morning what happened. Right then, I thought my life was over. And it was, for about 2 weeks. Since we broke pretty much the only 2 main rules for the students at the camp, we'd been sent home as promised to orientation. The next morning, we all packed up our things and we got picked up by our parents, and I was grounded for 2 weeks. Honestly, I thought it would have been longer, but hey, the humility by itself was enough to know not to do this again. Meanwhile, there were just 4 other people in our small group left. 2 of them were graduated seniors at their last camp, and that same night, they were actually skateboarding. But the difference was that they stayed on campus, so they didn't get in trouble. Then the last 2, one being my roommate and best church friend from 4th grade, were in a one-on-one conversation as the last part of the challenge that would confirm Buffalo Wild Wings on the last night. The funny thing is, I checked if the other friend was done so I could have a one-on-one with him. If he was free, I wouldn't have gone to McDonald's. But I don't know, maybe events would have still led us to go otherwise, maybe with more people. But we would never make that mistake again. In fact, on our way back from this camp, since it was our last one, I revisited the McDonald's after we joked about going together, those of us who were there that year and this one, though we never did. And I got a picture taken of me pointing at the McDonald's sign with a face of remembrance. A face of a kid who spent half their life going to these camps, to ultimately be found ready, nonetheless, for the next chapter of life, even when it seemed to keep falling apart in the past. This time, there was a change of perspective, a change of mindset. This time, there were bigger things than the common adversities of teenagers to worry about, so that they could soon open doors for others to experience this change too. Hey guys, happy 4th, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and bi-weekly is probably what the schedule will stay as, and I need to space my animating time more honestly, because I'll just end up rushing it at the end since I do want better looking stuff, so I want more time for that. But, as always, make sure to like and subscribe if you like what you see, and give me any feedback in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.